I mean, put small lip gloss on here because I need that little shine on my face so I can start this thing what I want to talk about. The thing what I want to talk about, maybe put small lip gloss. What's up? What's up? What's up? Your morning, your hello, you're sleeping, you better wake up. Y'all wake up. Let's talk about the Calabash. So, welcome back to Delisha Life and Travel. Welcome back to Delisha TV, ATL, all things Liberian. So, I'm going to go directly into what I'm doing here today because I just need to get this thing, out of my chest. So, okay, first of all, this video is about my experience at the Calabash. Mine, should I say sweet and sour experience or good and bad experience? I don't know, but whichever it is. So I'm making a review video on my experience at the Calabash. It's been almost 1 week. It's a very beautiful space. I mean, the first time I was there, since I came back to Liberia, I have not really gone out like that to, chill, to party, or I don't even know. But the nightlife has been something that I've really been avoiding. So I remember the first time I had an invitation to go to the Calabash. It was a colleague of mine who called me and told me, for a business meeting actually. And that was my first time going over there. I didn't even stay long there because we went there for something, for business. And I think in total, the amount of time that I spent there was like 1 hour. So, but first of all, let me tell you the whole ambience that I met when I got to the Calabash. When I entered the fence, I was like, whoa, this is beautiful. The whole setup, it had this, international feel to it. Also, it felt so homely. I'm like, yo, this place is so cool. It's so beautiful. It reminds me of being outside, but yet still I appreciate that it is home. And then another thing that caught my attention was how the staffs were so immaculately dressed, so clean, so unique. I mean, like, so prim and proper, we will say, with their name tags on them. So I was like, yo, man, this is so professional. Actually, I really admired that. I just felt so great. I remembered I left, with the whole thought, and I went to sit down. When I met my friend, I was like, yo, this place is so cool. I really love it. And then she was like, but it's a Liberian-owned business. I'm like, no way. I thought it was, for some of these Lebanese, but not Liberian-owned. Because, like, it was so put together. That, real international standard. So I was like, no way. She said, yep, okay. And then the services. And then she also told me that the owner of the place is a very, very down-to-earth person. So I was like, wow, in Liberia. The owner of a place in Liberia. The owner of a place down to earth. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, sort of new because I know my people. The moment we have, something of our own, we put our shoulders up. Anyways, it didn't even take long. We saw the owner of the place passing by. Because it's something that he normally, he does these things normally. He will go from table to table, asking people how they are, how's the whole atmosphere like, or how they are, whether they are enjoying themselves or not. So this is something that he normally does. So he was passing around, and then my friend was like, oh, this is the owner of the place. And she introduced us. So I was like, I really like the ambience. I like the whole setting and everything you are doing. An amazing job here. And he was so humble. Like, we had a great talk. We didn't talk for so long because I told him, I'm like, yo, I'm a YouTuber and please, can you grant me an interview? He said, okay. And I was happy to get that interview, even though we didn't, have the interview yet. I still look forward to it. Now, let's get back. So after that, entire episode, we had just little things to, eat and drink. We had our meeting and we were out. But also the waitress who served us, because she had on her name tag, I think I still remember her name, I think Odell or so. So that's something that stuck on my mind. Even when I got home, I remember I was telling my husband, like, yo, this place that I visited today, I want to go back there. I mean, everything looks so professional over there. It has an international feel to it. So he was like, okay, but he and myself, we are both workaholics. So, I mean, to get us out there is crazy because we are content creators and whole day we creating something, editing, producing or so. So anyways, fast forward. Now, there's this friend who called me up and she was like, oh, I want to take you out. I want us to hang out together. I'm like, yo, I'm not prepared to go out right now. But, at first we had made a schedule to go and then we didn't, go through. So this day, she just hit me up like, yo, what's up? What is it like? And myself, in my mind, it's like I just wanted to party that night also to, do something different. So when she and myself talked, we planned. She said she wanted to take us out. So I was like, where do you want to take me? She wanted to take me out. So I was like, where do you want to take me? And she said, D Calabash. And I'm already excited because, D Calabash, I had a great experience there. Even though I didn't stay long to party that day, I just went for a short time. But I wanted to go back on my own to see what it's like. So she said, we are going to D Calabash. I was like, okay, what's happening to D Calabash? The way I just say the name, D Calabash, D Calabash. D Calabash is D apostrophe Calabash. So D Calabash. Okay. So I'm like, what's happening at D Calabash today? What's, on the menu? And she's like, oh, they are going to have a live band. I'm like, yo, that's even better. Since I got back, I've been trying to do away with the whole nightlife because I'm a professional, international female club DJ. And having been in that whole environment for a couple of years, I'm like, yo, going back to Liberia, I'm not trying to do the same thing right now. I need my space. I need to breathe. I don't want to do this whole club thing right now. So I've just been on the low. But going to D Calabash, that open air space, is like freedom. And then having the band playing, I was like, yo, this is something that I want. So we set up a meeting. I was able to drag my husband from behind his computer so we can go out. Bam, we went to D Calabash. And before entering, now this didn't happen the first time I was there. The first time I was there, I entered the fence and just walked straight into the business area. But this time, when my friend, my husband and myself went there, they had people, they had created like a barricade or something you have to pay before entering. This was new to me. Anyways, $15 we were charged. We paid the money and they gave us these wristbands. You see on the D Calabash VIP. D Calabash VIP. They gave us these wristbands for us to enter. So as you pay the money, they put it around your, hand, your wrist for you to enter. So we entered. Now, great atmosphere as usual. We had a great time, amazing time. Good music, good people doing some karaoke. Everything was going on so great. But then I'm like, yo, what's up with the $15 today? Well, I thought something different was happening here than why they charging the $15 or so. Because the last time I came here or the first time I came here, I didn't pay to enter. So the girl who carried us out, she was like, oh, the $15 you pay, we are going to eat on it. So I said, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense, So we were there. We had a great time, really great time. Good music, good people, met a lot of friends that I've not seen for years. So everything was okay. And then I mean, you will see in my video how I was dancing and thing. I really enjoyed myself that night. Like some of the music even reminded me of China, you know, DJ in the club and stuff. It was really great, a great time. Now, time to leave. The bill, we had $59 that we were to pay. And then the wristband that they gave us, I mean, the money that we paid at the entrance, you know, the $15, we were three. So it's like $45. And they brought a bill of $59. So the food, you know, amount of food and drinks that we took, we should be deducting the 45 from the 59. But we couldn't find our ticket. So I'm like, oh, but what's up, you know? And then I saw my friend looking for the ticket. So she asked us if we saw the ticket or so. So I'm like, no, I didn't see any ticket. So then the waitress was like, but we need the ticket. So I'm like, what's up with this ticket thing? So my friend, the girl who took us out, she was like, oh, the ticket, you know, we need to give it to them. That's to show that we paid the money to enter here. And then we started to look for the ticket. We couldn't find the ticket. So the waitress was like, if you guys don't provide the ticket, you have to pay the full $59 that's on the bill. I was like, so, you know, my friend was like, no, but the ticket was here. So how come we're not seeing it? I'm like, yo, what's going on? Because I'm still kind of thinking, like, what's really going on? So I said, wait, but even if we don't find the ticket, we have these wristbands, right? You will have to pay the money before entering. And they gave you these wristbands. So at least it should mean something that we paid money to enter. Cost $15. And then, let me put a wristband on my hands, you know, as I'm talking. So the girl was like, oh no, these wristbands, they are just to say you pay and for you to enter the VIP section. So I said, okay, good. It's to allow us entry to the VIP section. But guess what? If you don't pay the money, you cannot get the wristband. So these alone should make you to understand that we paid money. Because we're not going and just grab these wristbands and put them on our hands. We paid the money, that's why they were given to us. So even if we cannot find our ticket, they should let you know that we paid $15 to come here. And then she was like, no, that's not it. We have to find the ticket. Then my friend was like, but I laid the ticket down right on the table. And then where she said she placed the ticket, it was somewhere like on the open air, because it's an open air space. The VIP area is like an open air space. So then it was causing a lot of back and forth because we already paid $45. So why should we come and pay extra $59 because we cannot find ticket? What about these things? Aren't they proof enough? So anyways, long story short, when my friend said she put the ticket on the table, the exact place she put it, the place is airy. It's an open air space. Breeze could easily take it from there, you know, and blow it on the floor. Then I remember that I saw a paper on the floor right beside me, because where the girl was talking about also is like right beside me on the table. So I remember seeing a paper right on the floor, but I didn't even know that it was a ticket, because this is like my first time over there to go and hang out like this. So I didn't know about anything, you know, whether it was a ticket or not. So I'm like, wait, I remember seeing a paper on the floor. And then this is something that I didn't say. Now, this day, all of the waiters and waitresses that were coming to us, they didn't have on name tags this particular day. That was like last Friday, this going Friday. They didn't have on name tags. But then I remember one of the person who was serving us was a boy. That was not the table he was actually assigned to, but because the waitress who was with us, I think she was doing something and we needed our order to go in, so he came to fill in. I still remember his name. His name is John. So John also took, our order, some of our order, and he brought it to us. And then the waitress assigned to us, I think I remember I asked her name, because me, I love to know people like that. So I was like, what's your name? because when I'm talking to you, I want to say your name. I asked her for her name, and I think she said Helen, if I'm not mistaken. She said Helen or so. So I was like, okay. So, usually I will call her by her name. But now, they usually, they don't allow stuff to pile up on your table. So if you have used tissue and stuff, they will come to clear it out. If you have eaten maybe the bones or so on the table, they will come and clear it out as you are sitting on the table. So they were back and forth, clearing the place. Now I remember this particular, situation. This person came to clear the table, the tissue and stuff, to get him out of the table, to get the tissue off the table. And when I saw the paper on the floor, like she had taken the tissue and was like, oh, that paper down there on the floor. So she picked the paper up. When she picked the paper up, she hesitated. And then she put it with the tissue and she left. But for me, I didn't even know what was going on until this incident came out. And I'm like, yo, but this is what happened. I remember I showed this girl paper, but now I don't even know which girl, because there were, I think, 3 other girls. The main one who was with us, plus 2 other girls, plus John. So it's almost like we have 4 people on the table. I don't remember the other, 3 girls. I remember John. And so, I was like, but I remember somebody came to clear the table and I saw a piece of paper on the floor and I told the girl, oh, that paper down there, you seen it or something. And then she picked the paper up and she hesitated and put it with her stuff. So then the main waitress who was with us, because she's still there handling the bill and we are going through this conversation. So she said, oh, but then if that's the case, maybe that person take it and go sell it to somebody. So I said, Wait, you just said something. So you mean you can take people tickets and sell it to other people? Now that's really bad. Where is your manager? Then, we call for the manager, because now we wanted to meet somebody higher to explain our plight, because she's still demanding that we pay the money. So she went for her manager, one Angel. So Angel came, she already briefed Angel on the entire thing. Also when Angel came, she already had her own thing to tell us. So all of the things, for me, I didn't even say anything much. My 2, my husband and my friend, they were explaining to Angel. And when they got to Angel was like, management is not held responsible for this. We cannot give, we cannot do anything about it. Management cannot do anything about it. So I was like, that's when I came here, I was like, wow. So after everything we explained, you just tell us management cannot do anything about it? What about trying to call the people who were on the table? What about these 3 things that we purchased? The Calabash VIP section, plus this one on my wrist. What about them? Can't you guys look into it to know that we actually paid this money to enter here, and you're telling us management cannot do anything? So Angel was like, how many people were on the table? We said 3, and we are still 3 sitting here. So she said, oh, maybe somebody could have come on the table and take it. I said, no, that didn't happen. Then I explained to her what happened with the waitress. When the waitress came, and I mentioned that there was a paper on the floor, and she picked it up, the ground, and she picked it up and hesitated and put it, with the tissue and whatever she had in her hand. So she said, well, we don't know who was that, so management is not held responsible. Oh, really? Okay. And now it started to go, further. So I was like, I could do a review on this thing that you guys are doing to us here, and just sharing my story and my experience. She was like, yes, you could do it and something like that, but we cannot do anything, sorry. So my husband then went to talk to the owner of the place, because he was there. Lester was there that night. Like I said, he's always around, interacting with the clients. So Lester was there interacting with the clients as usual, but he was seated at a table. So my husband went to talk to him to explain everything that happened. And Lester also was like, management cannot do anything about it. In fact, the management will be losing. So when my husband came and he told me, I was like, wow. So just like that, $45 is gone. They're not even trying to look into what we are explaining, to even call these people up. So my husband asked, but what about these, stuff that you gave us? We cannot enter this place without this and paying money. And I don't even know what to say right now. But we had to pay money for you people to give us these things. What about the serial number that's on it? They said, oh, that number is not anything. This thing is just for you to enter the VIP section. If it's so important that this paper, this will make me to enter the VIP session, why don't you think my $15 or my $45 is that important to me for you to look into my case also? But they actually downplayed everything, and that didn't go down well with me. It didn't go down well with me at all. In the first place, new people come to your establishment like every time. You are not dealing with the same people. Every time you deal with them, if you know that the ticket that they will have at the entrance is going to be of use to them, you make it like a recitation. You tell them, this money that you pay, this wristband, this ticket, you keep it very well, because this ticket, you are going to eat on it, and at the end of the day, the waiter or the waitresses that will be serving you, you will have to present it to them for us to deduct your money. That should be something you should tell every client every day. Don't get tired saying it. The same way you're not tired to receive that money at the entrance, don't get tired saying that particular thing to people. I'm just like, how many people have also been victimized, about this particular thing? Because this is something that these staffs are doing. Liberian businesses will start up, they be so good, and all of a sudden they just break down. So if the management is not looking into this thing, then it's a really bad thing. And the way they handled it, I don't want to say exactly what I'm thinking, but please, for some of us who doing things on the budget, I'm a hustler. I'm looking for my little daily bread, and I'm trying to just spend money here and there. So if I decide to go out, I've already budgeted for this particular thing. So I'm not trying to take excess, with me or so, something that will lead me into spending something that I didn't plan for. So for some of us who are budget people, still living on budgets, that money was important. $45 ain't funny. So $45 plus $59, that's like $104 we spent that night. Extra money that we didn't even plan for. So if you are going to Calabash and they gave you that ticket, maybe they will not tell you to the entrance, because they wanted to get missing or they want to steal it from you so they can sell it. Pay attention to your ticket like your little baby. Pay attention to your ticket. That was the only bad experience that I had there. Other than that, like I said, the establishment is beautiful. It's a cozy area. It's very cool, calm. I mean, you can have a real good festive time there. The environment is really good. Lester knows how to talk to people, like, how you doing and this and that, until this other one happened that he didn't intervene, but he just told me, what it would be like for, the management for their establishment. I mean, what about your clients, man? What about your clients? Or you got enough clients already that you don't care about the one that you will miss and that you will lose or so? It might not mean anything to you, but we still want to talk about the good. And in as much as we're talking about the good, we will also point out the ones that are going, bad, because we want the best. Outside there, in China, in Asia, when they gave you this particular thing, they tell you, because maybe even if, it is winter time and you have your coat on, they take it from you. You got to present this thing before getting your coat when you are leaving. If you are even going to drink on this thing, they will explain to you. Each and every person who will be entering that establishment, they will explain to you. Take this, keep it good, because you will need to present it before getting out. They tell you. So this is my little sweet and sour experience at the Calabash. I'm not saying anybody shouldn't go there, but if you go in there, please remember to take care of your ticket. So that's just my experience, and I really do hope that they will work on that, because that's not good. Taking people's stuff, selling it, and people have to pay extra, it's not good at all. Wristband number one, $15, and this $15, good $45. Even the waiter or the waitress, even the waitress who hesitated, she knew exactly what was happening, and she took advantage of the fact that somebody like me, I didn't know. Because if you were being honest enough, when I told you there's a paper over there and you picked it up, you will say, oh, that your ticket, oh. You please put it somewhere good, because the ticket here, you will say, you say, time for you to pay. That's what an honest person would do. But because they know what they can always do, and this thing I'm telling you, one thing I like about, backup videos and things. My husband was capturing the moment, with me and my friend, our little time enjoying. The ticket is on the floor, just where I said it was. It's on the floor in the video. He captured it. He wasn't even paying attention to capture anything on the floor, but it's so happy that it's right there in the video. It's not a long video, but when I got home, I was really looking at the video. I'm like, yo, can I just see something that will confirm what I was saying? And bam, I saw it. So I will show the video also. But that's what's up. Yo, bye bye.